Hello, my name is Anton Zaki. I'm here on behalf of the American Coptic Council. The goal of our organization is to let local leaders know the issues our community finds most important and to further engage the involvement of our community in the local arena. Our organization serves the Coptic community. The Copts are an ethnic and religious minority that in Egypt who that until this day suffer from religious persecution and socioeconomic persecution. For example, the most recent atrocity deals with the acquittal of a mob who tortured and paraded a 70-year-old woman by the name of Soad Thabit in the streets of her town. We also have the case of Rabbi Kamel, an activist who has been imprisoned for over a year for trying to highlight the inhumane activities of the Coptic community. The American Coptic Council seeks to empower our community so they can be more engaged in the policies that impact our lives in the United States and abroad. Today, we have the pleasure of interviewing New Jersey Assembly candidate Jennifer Makar. Jennifer, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself, the position you're running for, and why you decided to run?
Sure. Thank you so much. So I'm running for Legislative District 21, State Assembly seat. There's an open seat, and I felt a calling from God to take on this journey. There was obviously in New Jersey, there's a big issue with the sex education curriculum. So that's what really pushed this idea of running for local government. And I believe that a little bit about myself. I mean, I'm brave enough to do this, and I really want to show forth what our community can do. I have a background in psychology and legal studies from William Patterson University, and I have been serving Sunday school in my church for over 10 years. I serve high school, and I believe that my qualifications are beyond what this position can do. So I can really hold myself with this position, and I look forward to working hard here. I think just a little bit more about myself. I feel, let's see, I think, I'm ambitious in doing this, running for office. And yeah, that's just a little bit, starter.
All right, to further elaborate on that, in your current position, your current career, what are some of the most notable accomplishments that you have taken upon, such as it could be in your career or in the community?
Yeah, absolutely. I worked for CVS for 13 years and was promoted multiple times. And then recently I got a job with Syneos Health. That's through, and I work with BMS through Syneos Health. So that's Bristol Myers Squibb. That's a more recent position. Accomplishments in my community, I really strive for service, and I really push that we do extra services in our community. We do homeless outreach, we do prison service, we do visitations in hospitals. So that's really important to not only me, but to show that our community is willing to serve, like public service, community service. It's the heart of God in everything that we do. So I really want to show forth that, and obviously provide a good name for the Coptic community.
Okay, so in the seat that you were running for, what would you do differently than your predecessor, and what would you continue if elected?
So in the current position, we do have a great incumbent. So, but again, it's an open seat. There's three people running and only two seats. I think that what is happening in our community is that there's a lot of promises made and not a lot of fulfillment. So I really want to stay true and, stay not only true to my constituents, but obviously if I'm going to stay true to anyone, it'll be to God and to maintain that conviction and that faith. So I really want to come through and show that we are going to be I'm going to be someone that stands for what I say.
Okay, so what can you do to include the or involve the Coptic community in policy making decisions?
Well, definitely poll taking. I know the concerns of the Coptic community, but I'd really like to see how they want to get involved. And I think that everyone should get involved politically, some way in some form. And I also believe that everyone should run for office at some point in some form. because it is important that we get our name out and get involved because, I believe that we are the salt of the earth and, we are the light of the world and we have to, do that in every arena, in the public arena, in as far as running for office or in our private lives in every way. So it's not only in corporate or in schools, but we have to maintain that um, faith to God and everything in all aspects of the community.
So, what do you see as the top three issues facing your district, and what would you do to tackle them?
So the top three issues, obviously the first one, if you're from New Jersey, you know that property taxes are insanely high. So that's number one. Number two is our educational system. We do have an issue where people are not, the parents and families are not trusting the educational system anymore. Kids in high school are reading at a sixth grade level. There's this sex education push, and parents are concerned and they're leaving, and it's just a big problem. I would believe the third issue is relatable to what's going on with COVID. We need to open up our small businesses again and promote them and support them in every way we can. And how I would do all this is, listening to my constituents, paying attention to what their needs are. For as far as property taxes, I think that we can do a better job of lowering the taxes, maybe doing some sort of credit to homeowners. I believe for the education, we can offer school choice. It's something we really need to push in our communities. And lastly, small businesses, they can use our support. We need to get out there and do more business with small businesses, and, you know, whatever they need, we have to stand by them.
Okay, so if you like, you mentioned that you wanted to help small businesses, which and it's another issue facing your one of the issues facing your district.
Mhm.
If you elected, what would you do to help the restaurant industry, which has suffered tremendously due to the COVID pandemic?
Yeah, the restaurant industry. I mean, in my district, every single town has a large, main street and multiple restaurants and very popular restaurants. And I see that they're struggling and, closing up. A third of the businesses have closed up in New Jersey. So we need to first fight Murphy's laws that he's making, and stay true to, what we believe as free country. So I think that first of all, promoting them on in every platform, getting their names out there, and doing what we can to get them open, fully open and safe, and um, you know, in health forums and things like that, we need to just stand by them.
Okay, so what is your position with respects to schools returning more in-person days?
I personally believe that we have to open these schools. We've seen a lot of kids suffer from being at home mentally. Parents are suffering financially from just the kids being at home. And there's just a lot of issues that we don't really recognize and we don't really see. Um, I believe that schools are ready to open 100%.
Okay, and what would you do to stop or reduce the apparent increase in violent crimes?
I think that with violent crimes, we need to have more opportunities for people to stay off the street. Let's get the kids off the street. Let's have more programs for them. Violence is an issue where we need more police out there and we need to fund them better, not defund them. So yeah, police, we need to have them more out there and better trained. Um, yeah, and definitely more funded because we need our police, we need our law enforcement.
Okay, this is more of a personal question. What are some of the challenges of being a Coptic American running for an elected position?
Mostly I believe that a lot of people haven't heard about the Coptic Orthodox community. And it's mostly due to our fault. We don't really get involved that much in these types of, you know, places or things like that. So I think that that's a big issue, not being able to. People come up to me and they'll say, "Well, what are you?" I'm American, but my family is Coptic Orthodox. Um, so I think that getting the word out there and being able to talk about the heritage and the tradition of the church and the influence that we can have and how strong we are. So just speaking more, being more conversational about it.
Okay. And is there anything else that you would like to let our viewers know today about yourself and about your campaign?
Yeah, you can visit my website at jennifernj.org and take a look and see how you can help. I'd really like the prayers and the support of our community in running for office. And I hope to inspire the next generation to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, would you just let our viewers, it's for the New Jersey, what the number district again?
Legislative District 21.
21. Okay. So, uh, once again, we want to thank you for taking time out of your day to speak with us, and best of luck to you.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.